for a moment. Good evening, everybody. It is International Women's Day, and we're closing out our circle that we started this morning with the beautiful Laura Lee Steinitz and Simone. What's your last Glass, right, Simone?
Yeah, but I usually go by Desiree.
Okay, sorry, Simone Desiree.
For everybody, you can
Simone
call me
Desiree. My beauty Simone is with us tonight, and thank you, Laura Lee, for showing up this morning and tonight. And of course, I'm here. I'm Juliana Mello, and tonight we have a couple of offerings. I want to share something that I saw from Sacred Wild Woman Medicine. So this is not my own words, but it is very powerful. And a lot of the words reflect my journey. So I want to share with so much gratitude to Sacred Wild Woman Medicine. Please come on in, everybody. Please comment so that we can see. Otherwise, we don't know who's on and who's not. So I'm just going to make sure that we are streaming okay. It looks like we are. And I'm just, sorry guys. I'm just going to make sure that I can see the comments. Hi, Lisa. And so this is entitled, She's Coming Into Her Power. She spent years not realizing who she was. She doubted her beauty, her intelligence, and her power. She was one who always felt that she didn't quite belong, because when she came into this life, her ties to the world of spirit remained far too strong. She was confused and lost throughout her youth, unable to see herself, much less accept and appreciate herself. As a result, she was like a ship bobbing in the ocean without a rudder and without the sails of confidence to direct her toward her own promised land. She was one who was bereft of her own acceptance, hungered for it, and searched for it through relationships with others. She was a people pleaser as a result. She would not risk confrontation in order to support herself. She succumbed to being influenced by the opinions of others, even though she had already received her instruction from within. She allowed her truth to be sublimated. She allowed herself to be controlled. Her need to be accepted and loved was such that she wasn't prepared to step on or over any toes. It took her years of being taken for granted, ruled, and overlooked before she put two and two together, had enough, and got the message. Her suffering forced her to step out of the status quo that had always been too tight for her in the first place. She became an avid seeker, searcher for answers. She needed to know who she was. She needed to know why she was here. She needed to find a way to free herself from fear. She traveled far and wide. She sat at the feet of a master. She became a yogini of an ancient lineage and applied the teachings to her life. She grew strong. She awakened her heart. She awakened her Shakti. Her third eye opened as a result. Her potentials started to be unearthed rapidly because the veils had parted and she recognized who she was. She also recognized who everyone else was behind their socialized facade. And because she had seen through the myth of idealized perfection, she could appreciate the actual perfection of the imperfections in herself and in others that she had once resisted and rejected. Today, she walks with conscious awareness. She no longer labels people as good or bad. She interprets everything as fluctuating energy without a fixed assignment. She holds space for the confusion of others because she's been there. She still visits that place herself. She understands their hunger for love misappropriated as selfishness, jealousy, and competition. She feels their vulnerability as she feels her own. She knows the fear reflected in their eyes through her own past terror. But underneath all of it, she can see the obscured light, the presence of God, Goddess, despite all the protective armor. She's aware of the same divine presence vibrating in her body and in her heart. She's not so quick to cast judgment anymore because she knows that she is not above those that she is tempted to judge. She knows that she is not separate, and because she gives herself permission to be herself as she is, she can accept others as they are with appreciation and compassion. She's not invested in changing anyone either. She respects everyone's chosen path because she understands that every soul is doing exactly what they need to do in order to evolve. So it is not her place to save anyone from their own lessons. She reveals, heals, inspires, and encourages instead. She reminds others of their forgotten divinity. She holds up a mirror so that they can see God and Goddess reflected back. She's become a midwife for the reemergence of the divine feminine soul. The shy, timid maiden has transformed into the courageous, outspoken mother of all. She says it as she sees it, confidently, without shrinking back. She's fiercely protective of the helpless. She's a torch for those lost in the darkness. And she's not afraid to take a stand for peace and love to flourish in this world. If someone tries to persuade her against her own knowing, she simply and graciously responds, "Thank you for sharing." And she walks away because she trusts herself. She knows that she is Divine Mother embodied. She is Artemis of the Wild merged with compassionate Tara and warrior Durga. She has traversed the journey of Inanna into the dark underworld and emerged in possession of her kingdom. She knows why she is here, and she's fulfilling her purpose. She's not alone. She's among many who have chosen to return bearing love as their message, their path, and their gift of healing. Again, that's thanks to Carolyn DeLisser, Sacred Wild Woman Medicine. As I read these words, I could not have written this myself, and yet it emulated my journey. And so with so much gratitude to this beautiful page for these words tonight. So grateful for you ladies to be here. Dear Lori.
Thank you for having us.
You're so welcome, dear Desiree. I was sharing in the green room with the ladies how Lauralee and I attended our first sister circle with Joni Tabner 4 years ago on this day, March the 8th, that we, for over 100 years, have celebrated International Women's Day. Lauralee, I'm so happy and grateful that you're my soul sister, that you are my goddess sister, and that you are my spirit sister, because we've walked this journey like Inanna through the dark, and we've emerged in the light with these amazing beauties around us, and I'm so grateful for you tonight. What do you have to offer, honey?
Oh, I have something here, but that's funny that Inanna was mentioned in there because that was one of the things I was thinking of offering. I have a book on Inanna, and it has like her descent to the underworld, and it has how she tricked the Anki, I think, the god of the ocean, and he bestowed all these things upon her, and he got drunk and he forgot. Anyhow, I was thinking of doing that, but I've decided to go with so this is Rise Sister Rise. Sorry. Oh, this is on a funny angle. Rebecca Campbell, and this is called The Mystic Always Rises. As she let her soul sing, she let go of lifetimes of silenced truth missiles cemented in the deepest caverns of her soul. A voice snubbed out for centuries for saying too much, for standing up too much, for being too much. Her Shakti and wisdom restrained for centuries, but not anymore. She could not be locked away, muted, restrained, or contained any longer. Not now, not ever again. As she let her spirit move her, she danced right through the flames. Resentment, anger, and remembering stomped out with every blazing convulsion, sway, and kick. The movement created space for their tears, which flowed deeper than all of the lakes they were submerged in through all of the ages. Soothing and healing the burnings that once enveloped her bodies, all of their bodies, all of our bodies. Never forgetting, but still rising. Just as she had planned to, just as we had planned to. Sensing her in the distance, one by one, her sisters joined in. Knowing this dance by heart, standing taller from all those who came before and those who chose to come again, who had lived the story of her fall, now returned to watch her rise. Rise, sister, rise. And
That's beautiful.
isn't that beautiful? It is, isn't it?
Mhm.
And I'll just draw a quick card from, whoop, there it is.
Jumped out.
It's flying out.
Like
Oh.
the jumpers.
Oh, beautiful. I couldn't have handpicked this better. So this is card number 22. Fearless self-love.
Mm.
Okay, I'll get the book too because they're not very long to read. And
No problem. Thank
Okay.
you.
I love myself fearlessly. I love myself as beautiful, good, and worthy, no matter what else is happening around me. My self-love keeps me well and happy. I nourish my self-love with daily acts of sacred self-care. This is the source of my true power. I listen to and value the guidance of my inner wisdom. In the face of negative messages and faulty beliefs, I return to the natural feminine at my core and celebrate this ground of being within myself. And I always return to self-love. In this way, I practice fearlessness. And the little mantra for this one is, whenever I choose to love myself, no matter the circumstances surrounding me, I am practicing fearlessness.
Truly
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
You're right. We couldn't have handpicked it ourselves. This is when, what I've learned that first night we sat on the floor in circle. It was only a few days after Vicki Mitchell, one of my beautiful friends, passed away. And Lauralee ran to my side and we decided to go to this beautiful sister circle. And it ignited within us healing deeper. And it has allowed us, like Anana, to go to that deep underworld that a lot of females are still afraid of. And there isn't anything to be afraid of. You need to love your light and your dark. You need to truly love who you are at your core and to tap into that deep wisdom that is within you, that is constantly guiding you no matter what you're walking through. And that is the gift that the sisterhood has given me, is to nurture that part of me that I felt unworthy, unloved, in shame and guilt, which was all an illusion, that I am perfect, whole, and complete, that who God created me to be is enough. I've always been enough, even when people didn't think that I was. And I know that if it's resonating with you, then that's your message as well. That card, certainly after reading those words and the rise, sister, rise, yes, That's what women's empowerment is. It is standing up. It is speaking up. It is speaking your truth. It is healing your life. And then it is turning and sharing your journey with other sisters together in circle. No one at the top, no one at the bottom. When you are in circle, yes, there always needs to be a leader because that's how it goes. But that doesn't mean above or below. That is reserved for the divine. And we are each equal in that sense. Thank you, dear Lori. I love and appreciate you for that offering. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That was beautiful.
It was. Thank you.
No, I think all I would say is that if we push down that shadow part of ourselves, you'll never truly heal because it's trying to bring something to the surface that is a deep wound.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep pushing it down because it's not a nice feeling, I mean, it's terrible. It's not a nice way to feel. And usually you're reacting to people in a not nice way too. But if it doesn't come up here to the surface and come out, it's just holds you back and holds you down. So
right. And what may I share just a little bit with your permission, Lori, about our journey through with the goddesses? Not too much, just enough that, I started out in the angel world. So the angels are all very light, very lovely. And I was healing my life and I was, healing my mind and my spirit. However, it was when we journeyed through the goddess, when I recognized that it was okay to be shiny. However, if I truly wanted to heal, I had to heal those icky bits, those bits that people maybe perceived as a bitch or as a witch, right? Or as crazy. I dislike those terms, people. I'm just saying that a lot of perceptions of others, females and males, I'm sure all of you have been in those situations where people say, what's wrong with her? She's so crazy. She's so crazy. Or what a bitch if she's speaking up. Or what a witch. Who does she think she is? Well, I can say this is who I am. And yeah, I've done things that I'm not proud of. But each of us that are on a journey have done things that we're not proud of. And no longer can anybody project their shit on me anymore because I'm healing my shit. I've recognized my dark. I've gone to the depths like Inanna. And there was a time, right, Lori, where you and I were on that healing journey where we were making assumptions and we almost lost our friendship for a bit there because those ugly parts were coming up. The rage that we felt that we had suppressed for so long. And then when you love people, you project that onto others. You might say things that you're not proud of. You might do things. You might even be not recognizing how you are reacting or how you're showing up because you don't know any better. And it is through true love, unconditional love of sisters. I don't call everybody my sister. I don't know if people notice that, but I don't. I'm not one of those that says, oh, sister. I mean, yeah, we could be friends. We could be somebody that we know. But true sisters love you unconditionally and mostly sit with you in the dark because it's easy for people to love you when you're all shiny and bright. But it's not that easy to love you at your darkest. So I want to say thank you for growing with me. I love you so much, and I hope that you always remember that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tonight we have another...
Screen frozen.
Your screen's frozen?
Yeah, you guys are... We're all frozen.
Oh, no, you're okay.
Okay, am I? Okay.
Good evening, dear Simone. I'm so happy that you're with us tonight.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. You know what's
so
funny is that I brought this rose quartz with me, and it's so funny that you pulled the card of like unconditional love because I can relate so much to both stories that you guys shared, especially the one from the sacred, is it Sacred Tribe? Is that what it
Okay,
is,
I was
Juliana?
trying to get you predominant, but I don't know how to do it. Sorry about that. I was just trying.
That's okay.
I don't know that deck. The Sacred
I
Tribe.
can hold it together on the end.
Yeah.
So
Sacred Tribe
I
deck.
can relate to that because, pardon?
Know what you read from.
Oh, this where I read
Oh,
from
yeah.
the Sacred
You read
Tribe
from.
page.
What was the name of a sacred tribe?
Oh, Sacred Wild Woman Medicine.
Sacred, thank you. Sacred Wild
Yeah,
Woman
Sacred
Medicine.
Wild Woman
So I
Medicine.
feel like I can relate to that fully because I know for me, it took me a very, very long time to step into my power. And I will admit that, like, honestly, just recently, probably like the past 2 weeks, I feel a whole new level of confidence and a whole new level of, I got this kind of power to me. And before, it took me a really long time. Like, I did a lot of inner work and a lot of inner healing. And I had basically two people that really stuck by my side that were not family, that were best friends to me. And I'm like you, Juliana. I am very select with who I call soul sister and who I don't call soul sister. And if you have been through the drudges with me, you're a soul sister. We can make it through the dark and both hold each other accountable and both be able to be there for one another when we each need it and be each other's light, then that's beautiful. And I wish so many people will have that soul connection with somebody in their life, whether it be male or female. And I just hope that they, if they're ever losing hope, that they don't lose hope and that they do feel empowered and start working on healing yourself and looking at that like dark side of yourself. Because for the longest time, I was like, oh, this is great. Like I get to like be all like light and fluffy. And I never wanted to look at like the deep healing because I was scared that, oh my God, I'm going to open this can of worms and I won't be able to put the lid back on.
Right.
And like doing it and just ripping the band-aid off basically and really healing it and like you say, you got to feel it to heal it. And just going through those emotions of it has helped me grow so much and has almost made me more aware of other people around me. So before I used to be so judgmental and used to always be like, why is this person like that? Like, no, 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 no. And like now I'm slowly getting it. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I might react, but afterwards I like recheck it and I'm like, why am I reacting? Like this person could be going through something just like you went through something. Hello, there's my beautiful soul sister.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, I'm like, oh my goodness, they're live. I gotta go on there.
Yes, I'm so glad.
Sorry, Simone, go ahead.
Go ahead, Simone.
So basically just going through like a lot of like inner healing and like just going through that process of empowering myself because nobody else can empower you except for you. And you can't empower somebody else if you're not empowered and you don't feel worthy and you don't feel loved. Like it all starts from within and you can't pour from an empty cup. You got to be able to pour from a very full cup, an overflowing cup at that, in order to help the collective and help even another individual feel at least slightly worthy of loving themselves. So I wanted to come on here and kind of pull a card from Velvedon's deck, the goddess deck. So she's all representing about the divine feminine and divine masculine energy. So the silver and the gold. And I absolutely love this deck. It has some very worn out edges.
So for those
So
that
pull a
don't know,
card to see.
Velvedon Silver is the Goddess Healing Matrix System Higher Priestess Practitioner Instructor, Creator, our Goddess Teacher. And you can find her at velvedon.com.
Yes. Thank you, Juliana.
You're
So this
welcome.
one here is Ria. She's all about paradigms. So about shifting into new paradigms. So letting go of what is like no longer serving us and moving into something that is serving us for our higher good. So I feel like with that, it's like, it's not just on an individual level, it's all on a collective level. Like with this whole pandemic as well, it has really shifted people into realizing like, what is my priority here? What is not my priority? And really like letting go of old limiting beliefs and bringing in new values and new beliefs for the whole collective.
And isn't that true? Because International Women's Day is about women rising up. And I had the fact sheet from this morning. I'll just share a little bit. It says, do you know that globally women make up just 23% of people in national parliaments worldwide? And women on average earn 25 to 40% less than men who do the same job. And across the world, over 60% of the people who cannot read are women. So that old paradigm, like that's what Rhea's showing up to say, just like Laura Lee said, rise, sister, rise. Take your breath and use it for good in a way to empower yourself and to be a voice for change and to know that, you know, women are no less than men. And we want men to recognize our value and not that we are property. We're not their property and we are not less than them.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Anything else, Simone, that you'd like to add, sister, tonight? Because I love that card.
I think that's it. I'm just going to drink from my This Girl Can cup.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Selena, welcome.
Hello. Hello. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
I missed
My
the
screen's
whole
still
beginning.
frozen.
It's
What's
frozen.
that, Laura?
Sorry,
missed
my
a
screen's
beautiful
still
poem.
frozen.
I missed a beautiful poem. Was it the one you did from this morning?
No. it was a
No,
different one.
Lorelai did a different one.
Well, Laura Lee did a different one too, yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to go off and come back on
Okay, sure.
because
She froze.
She
So I'm so
froze.
happy that you're here tonight. Are you going to pull a card or you have
I
some
totally
wisdom,
could.
or?
Yeah, so it's my daughter's birthday today.
I know. Happy birthday to Alicia.
Yeah, it's been quite the interesting day because it's not the kind of birthday she wanted, and it's not the birthday that she really kind of needs in this time, because it's like, you know, mental health is so important, and I know she's very sad today, so it's been a very, very struggling kind of day, but we're good.
Yeah, I hear you, because Polo Jr. last year when he turned 22, you know, he had the big ass birthday, right? Limo, cowboys, you know, the whole shebang. And this year we were like, well, the restaurants were closed, couldn't go out to eat, right? You could order in, but he's a single only child. And so I was like, well, you know what? Life lesson. That if they don't have this, you know, duality, how are they going to really count their blessings? So it was like, well, you're going to have to, you know, change your mindset about it and just appreciate what we can do today.
Yeah, like
and
today
hope
was
that next year it can
definitely
be different.
right. Yeah, I know, because like this year is like her 16th birthday.
Yeah,
So
sweet.
usually it would be like, you know, super important for anybody, right? So we're trying to make it super important today, and it was like no matter what we were working on or trying to get done, she was like, oh, thanks. Like,
because she's 16 and you know that's their life, so
yeah,
you know maybe we can
definitely. I
just
just send her
love
some
to her.
love, because
Yeah.
send me some love, because I was
Send you some
trying
love.
hard.
Yeah, it's hard mothering. I mean, she's a beautiful young girl, and I was thinking, how blessed is she that she has a girl and a boy, because I don't have a little girl. I have a boy. And so
my boy turned 19 this year.
I know, 19.
And his girlfriend turned 18, and Alicia just turned 16. So it's quite the busy household right now.
Yeah.
But so we did last year, the boys were snowboarding. We had a whole huge birthday weekend for her, like last year, and this year it's very quiet. So last night we went for dinner, because we can actually go for dinner. And then today it was, she had to go to school. So she was at school, and when she got home, then it was like, okay, let's go get our nails done. And then she asked me what kind of cake she was having. And I'm like, well, you made a cake. Okay, I'll grab you a cake. Like, so then I'm like getting the cake and got some balloons. And And we made dinner, but it wasn't the kind of dinner she wanted. And I love her.
Yeah.
But I said to Tom, I said, okay, like I'm feeling kind of like maybe I tried too hard, or maybe she is just so sad that she doesn't know how to receive in a way that is going to make her happy right now, because right now
Right.
she's just sad. She really wishes she had a friend here that she could hang out with and laugh with and do TikToks with, and I don't know. So it's like it's really quiet and it's different. So
She couldn't do a FaceTime
Anyway.
with her friends?
she probably has been, but it's just more the fact that she's sad.
Yeah. And
So-
16 and girl. So yeah, we'll hold space for her and send her lots
Definitely,
of love.
definitely.
And you too.
Thank you.
That's what sisters do.
Right? I'm like, Tom, I'm gonna go on this live. And he's like,
Yes, I'm so
your
glad.
mental he's like, your mental health, like, do you need to go for a drive or the live? And I'm like, I need to go on the live. And he's like, okay. Always, yes. So anyway, I'm gonna pull from the money cards, because
Ooh, good.
who doesn't need abundance of lots of stuff? I need abundance of happiness right now.
Yeah.
So let's see what we need
And
to
the
say.
8 is abundance. See if
Right?
that-
And well, and
key.
she's like, I always forget that I'm on the International Women's Day. And I'm like, yeah. And I think that she hasn't realized it's a powerful
Yeah.
birthday. Like it's going to be powerful for her. And
And
it is
you know, it's
powerful.
okay to honor her where she's at right now.
Exactly.
As long as she's not depressed, right? We can honor where she's at.
Exactly.
You guys have had a big move in this
Mhm.
year, you know, so we can just honor her and, you know, support her. And, you know, hopefully next year things have opened up. Maybe she can come and travel and visit her friends.
I
or
think also the friends that she has here, because of you can only go do things with your immediate
family.
household,
Yeah.
that she can't, we couldn't go, like there's like this roller skating place and she couldn't go there because her friends that she has here, their parents were like, well, you guys aren't in the same, even though they're in the same class, it's just totally just not making sense. But anyway, she is beautiful, and her birthday being on this day is super powerful, and I know it's going to always be beautifully abundant for her. So
Exactly.
she just is going to thrive. And oh my goodness. Haha, we got 2. It's the power of prayer.
Ooh,
Juliana, right up your alley, baby.
that is so funny.
You
That
had her
is
at prayer.
awesome. She was like, prayer and quiet retreat.
Oh, silent retreat. We need
No,
a
a
silent
quiet retreat.
Oh,
retreat.
quiet
No, a
retreat.
silent retreat. I did that like in the Goddess Master. You have to do the
I
silent
know.
retreat is hard. It's hard. So hard. I was like,
It's
I
hard
like
for
to
you,
talk.
Selena.
just you wait. When you do it, it's freaking hard. It's really hard. So power prayer is give this.
I'm laughing now, but I won't be laughing when I do it.
No, you won't, because I was like, what do I need to learn? I need to learn something. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah. And then when you learn it, then you're like, oh, okay, that was actually worth it. But it was really hard. It was really hard. So give the situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are waiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives to you in response to your prayers. So hear me. Definitely send her love. Send us love. And quiet retreat. It's time to just disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself, and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. And I know that I needed to step away from the situation. And thank you that you guys are on live. Like I was like mass texting Simone. I'm like, I'm like, hey, hold on.
Where's the link? Where's the link?
I'm like, they're on live. Where are they? I'm like, hey, you're on live. I'm coming on there.
Thank you for that.
No,
So,
thank
yeah.
What are you doing?
You know,
I'm like,
it's interesting, right? Because we have the power of the divine, whatever you call them,
mhm.
in your life, or her in your
Mhm.
life, to help you. And prayer is communing with the divine, asking for what it is that you need. And when you're in the quiet, you can hear your own thoughts, your own
Yes.
spirit. That, you know, the energy from the divine comes to us and through us and speaks to us
Yes.
when we are quiet.
Yes.
And that's what the blessing of COVID-19 is it's made us be. It's given us pause. And there are many gifts. I'm not saying that there aren't a lot of people that haven't suffered, because there are.
Oh yeah.
and we acknowledge that. However, sisterhood helps you. Women's empowerment means we use our voices to affect change. We be the change we want to see out in the world. And we use cards, all of us, to hear messages that, it's a medium, if you will, to discern messages. And they're so beautiful. So thank you, ladies, for that. Oh, sorry, you had another one? Sorry.
Do the work.
Or do the work. I'm so sorry.
Isn't it so funny?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, as soon as I sit back, because I know, like, in my head, we were sitting there eating dinner, and she was sad. Like, she's so sad. And, like, it just makes your heart break because you just want to hug her. And, like, I can't do anything because there's nothing to do, right? Just love her. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, well, like, what else could I have done? Could I have done anything different? Like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, okay. Now I'm in my head too much. Now I'm really sad. I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't do it in the right way. Maybe I didn't do it in the way that she needed to receive. Right? And that's what I had to finally realize. I'm like, oh, it's not even about me. She's so sad. And I just got to love her through it. So I got to do the work.
Do the work. Yeah, just to push through it, knowing this too shall pass, right?
This too shall pass.
That the sun's going to come out again tomorrow, that, she's allowed to feel the feels.
Exactly.
And, this is going to be the birthday that she remembers, right? Oh, that year we weren't allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
And, when she's allowed to celebrate and get all dressed up and go out and go to, when she's old enough, go to the bar and have all those firsts that she's going to have.
Exactly.
There's many. Just
exactly.
Focus on
it was just
such
ahead. A weird day. It was a weird off day, I think, for a lot of at least my household anyway. It was definitely a wild ride today. So I was like, they're on live. I need to go.
Yeah. I'm so glad you came. So I think I'm feeling guided because you said prayer. I think I'm going to see what the prayer is for today, for March the 8th.
Oh my God, Juliana, I was literally gonna read the prayer from that book today, and then I was like, no, I'll just do like cards and like speak from my heart.
Oh,
so I love that you're pulling it.
I need
March
that book.
The 8th is an angel prayer for manifest intention. So our intention is for all of us and for Alicia, and this is the prayer. Dearest angels, beloved messengers of the divine, I come into your holy presence with wishes and intentions that are near and dear to my heart. Fill me with hope, inspiration, and a sense of deservedness so that I may indeed fulfill them. Give me clear vision that I may see through any self-imposed illusions of limitation and lack, and hold me within your embrace of unconditional love as I make changes I need to make and find the courage to transform, doing the work. Walk with me, dear angels, and illuminate my path, whispering words of loving encouragement and infinite possibility, so that I may remember my magnificence. Shine your light on every shape and contour of my desire, so that I may recognize it when it appears, and give me all of the crystalline focus, perseverance, and devotion needed to make it so. And when I have done all that I can, I pray you will enfold my intentions with your angel wings and uplift them into the highest vibration of my good. In that moment, I will bless and surrender them up to God for the attainment of their divine perfection. Thank you, beloveds, with grace and ease. Amen.
Amen.
And so it is. So just know that, the angels have our back, that they are here with us when we're walking through. It's hard. There are some days where we can't, right? I can hear my mentor in my head saying, we don't have a right to want for another. And you did the best that you could with this crazy pandemic.
Yeah.
And
I know that she's going to wake up tomorrow and she's going to be like, oh, I was really sad. And I'm like, I'm just going to love you anyway. Like, I love you anyway. Like, you're just sad. And that's okay.
Exactly. I wish, I'm going to play a couple minutes of this song anyways to close, because I think we need to move our bodies, and I'm going to play Break the Chains, and hopefully I'll put that we don't own the rights to it, and hopefully they won't cut it off, because this was the song that Laura Lee and I, when we were at our first sister circle, they played it. And I'm going to play a couple minutes and then I will post the link below, but I'm just going to be quiet for a moment. If you guys want to dance, well, I'll show you. Women are not a possession.
Break the chain.
Teachers, we are beautiful, beautiful creatures. Dance on the breeze, dance on the planet, dance on the breeze, dance on the pain, dance turning upside down, it's time to break the chain. Oh yeah, break the chain. Oh yeah, break the chain.
That's awesome.
One billion women rising. Sisters rise, sister rise. With that, I want to thank Simone, Laura Lee, and Selena for joining tonight. All of you, happy International Women's Day. We hope that you will join us again next year for something bigger and better, and hopefully in person. Many blessings to each of you. Bye. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.